Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. Um, about a month ago, maybe a little longer, the U.S. Navy announced that UFOs are indeed real. Go back and check out my video, UFOs Evidently. If UFOs are indeed real, then some of the people that have tried to tell us about it may not all be crazy. And if that's the case, we need to go back and look at some of these people. I've talked about Bob Lazar, I talked about Philip Schneider, now I'm going to talk about a man named Ron Rummel. Ron Rummel and Philip Schneider were apparently good friends. One of the few photos you can find about Ron Rummel, with him in it, is actually sitting with Philip Schneider. So, from what we can tell, Ron Rummel was an ex-United States Air Force intelligence officer. He published a periodical called the Alien Digest under a ghost name of Creston, Creston. The Alien Digest explored the relationships between our government and ET civilizations. According to this guy, there's a long-standing relationship between our government and at least one extraterrestrial civilization. Now, according to other people, there's more than one alien civilization out there. So I don't know. I'm telling you what they said because I don't know. Nobody does. That's the problem. Now this Ron Rummel, evidently there is an alien human hybrid program underway. That's what he said, and we've heard about this from other sources as well. Some alien abductees have even elaborated on that. So, now here's something else he said: humans and aliens make treaties, but the aliens always break them. And he says this has been going on since the 50s. So there's a story about, it's either Truman or Eisenhower meeting with alien representatives on the tarmac at a U.S. military base. Again, I don't know how true that is, but if that's the case, it would support what this man's talking about, or what he did talk about. He also said that humans are a food source for some alien races. We fish in the sea for food. We fish in rivers, and there are some fish out there that are apparently pretty intelligent. Maybe it's along those lines. Who knows? Now here's here's another claim that he made, and this was circulated years ago. I remember it, but I didn't put a lot of stock into it at the time. For those of you who don't know, Ronald Reagan instituted a program called SDI, Strategic Defense Initiative. Everybody called it Star Wars, and the idea was it was supposed to be a laser defense program to help defend us against incoming Russian ICBMs, because it was during the Cold War. According to this Ron Rummel, Star Wars was actually meant to defend us against hostile aliens. And if the aliens did meet with the president back in the 50s, and the aliens are always breaking their treaties, then maybe that's not so far-fetched. Just saying. Again, I don't know if any of this is true. I'm just saying. I'm telling you what they said. Now, Ron Rummel is also dead. Seems to be a recurring theme, isn't it? His death was also ruled a suicide. He was found dead in a park in Portland, Oregon. The police say that he shot himself in the mouth. Okay? There was gunpowder residue on his hands, which is, that makes sense there. However, there was no blood on the gun. So if he shot himself in the mouth, why was there no blood on the gun? Did he wipe it off afterwards? The suicide note that they found was not written by Ron Rummel. The note was the police investigators found out that the note was written by a left-handed person. Rummel was right-handed. He was about to publish a book about this the Strategic Defense Initiative. the alien, thing where they're supposed to be defending against the aliens. And evidently someone did not want that book published because he was threatened beforehand. So he's going to publish this book. He gets threats about not publishing it. Don't publish that book, or we'll do bad things to you, or whatever. Next thing you know, he's found dead in a park with what was meant to look like a suicide. There was gunpowder residue on his hands, but there was no blood on the gun, and I don't think that's possible. Anybody who's ever seen somebody shot at point blank range, or like that, blood flies. I'm just saying. So that's another person that had a lot to say apparently about UFOs and the U.S. government, and now they committed suicide. Just saying. I don't know if any of this stuff is true. I'm just telling you what he said, and the fact that he had a suspicious suicide as well lends some credence to what he said. So, you folks have a good day. God bless one and all.